We left off at Lake's Reptiles. One of my loyal subscribers, thank you very much, man. Do you have any advice for someone who wants to work at a pet store but isn't sure about it? Why not? Just do it! I've been working at a pet store, a couple different ones, for in total like 5 years, 6 years. It's pretty much my first job. If you love animals, it's going to be tough if you pick a place like Petco, especially if you really like them, because most of those places just treat their animals like dirt, and that's speaking from experience. I worked at a large pet chain, and that's what they did. It was, oh, something died. Better luck next time. Oh, it wasn't us, it was the animal, or whatever. Like, and they're not willing to change anything. That's the main thing. If you suggest something, it's like, well, it's under company policy that we do it like this. And that's not fair to the animal. So, where I work now doesn't do that, just to be clear. You get a discount on food, you'll get discounts on animals. I don't know what's holding you back, but if you want to leave why in the comments, maybe I can give you a hand. So, next question comes from Efren Gonzalez. Why isn't my crested gecko eating? Good question. Your guess is as good as mine. I have no information to ask from. Could be temperatures, could be humidity, could be what you're trying to feed it. I don't know, man. I can't really help you with that one without more information. Next question comes from Spencer Etheridge. I recognize his name. For the Q&A vid, what is your favorite plant to grow, and which one of your plant grows the fastest of all of them? On another note, yes, use your live stream. Periscope, please. I will try and get that set up, and I'll make an announcement. As for plants, it depends what plants you're going for. There's a lot of them that grow really fast, like pothos, just a typical house plant, which is just like sitting over here. It's a long vine. That grows quite quickly. It vines really well. It's a very common plant, like you can find it anywhere. Other than that, ferns grow pretty quick. It just depends what you're looking for. I don't know really how to answer that, just because I don't know what you're looking for. I'm sorry, you guys. I have something in my eye, and it's really bugging me. Oscar Zapata. I don't know. Is another one that pretty much comments on every one of my videos. What's your fave drink? If we're going pop, it's root beer. If we're going, like, in general, probably coffee. Man, that's depressing. I love coffee so much. If we're going, like, alcoholic beverage, probably, if any of you guys are legal, try Granville Island Winter Ale. It's only around like Christmas time, and I think some places will start to get it around now. Mr. Ender Slayer, how many reptiles have you had? I have 6 hermit crabs. They're lots of fun. That's cool. A lot. If I include every one of the baby chameleons, probably like 50 or 60 total. I have no idea. I'm not going to go through and count. A lot, though. Christoph's Reptile asks, what do you recommend for an intermediate reptile owner as their next pet? I don't really like these kind of questions just because what does intermediate mean? Maybe you've had a leopard gecko, but if you've done no research, then nothing's good for you other than a leopard gecko. With enough research, really anything can be successful. With no research, everything can fail. Very true point that I live by. I do a lot of research before I get any animal. There's so many reptiles out there. It's tough to suggest. Mountain horn dragons are cool. Water dragons are awesome, but they need like giant amounts of space. Why reptiles are cool asks, what is Periscope and what all can it do? Periscope's basically a live streaming service that Arib Hassam, my buddy, commented that you don't need a Twitter account. You can just sign up by email. And I don't know if it emails you when they go live, like if you're following a person when they go live, or what. I know on Twitter it notifies them. Like if you have a Twitter account linked to it, it notifies them. But it basically would be me with my phone doing something, whether that's working on a tank, feeding the animals, or whatever, on a live stream. Animal Arc TV just says, nice, very cool video, nice tortoise eating. He's a good guy. He watches all my videos, so thank you very much. Official Geckos asks, what made you start a reptile collection? I don't like to call it a collection. I mean, while it is, it's not. They're not inanimate objects. They're reptiles. They're living animals. Really, my parents let me, and I wanted to have them. That goes back to the whole Steve Irwin story that I was saying earlier. That's why. Steve Irwin basically put me on the track of reptiles at a very young age. Top Notch Reptiles, another guy that answers or comments on pretty much every one of my videos. Are you interested in getting another another female super translucent veiled chameleon? And I've already answered that in this video. Yes, I do. I would really like to get one, a really nice looking one, so Kai up there can have some fun time, and I can put that bar fridge incubator back into use. Question from Samuel Zygmunt. Q&A, where did you buy your blue tongue skink? I got it from Petland. They kept it in a 15-gallon tank when he was like, I don't know, 10 to 12 inches long, and my buddy was able to get me a really good deal, so I just got it. It needed a better home, honestly. That's pretty much, I mean, I rescued it. Beta Lover says, what started your reptile amphibian addiction? What is your job? How old are you? What kind of moss is in your shrimp tank? What's your dream pet? Dream pet? I don't know. Like, are reptiles pets? I don't know if that counts. Like, if it's non-reptile related, probably like a Bengal cat. Something like that. I don't know. One of the, like, nice fancy cats. I don't know why I would pay that much money for them, but they're really cool to me. What kind of moss is in my shrimp tank? Christmas moss is in my shrimp tank. I'm 19 years old. I work at Pisces Pet Emporium. What started my reptile addiction? I have already answered that before. Steve Irwin, and just after getting one. A lot of people will get reptiles and have one and just kind of lose interest in it, but if you stick with it, chances are by the time you're my age, you'll probably have a couple of them. Masked Pranksters ask, please do a vid about hermit crabs. Next! Bando Kim, he watches a lot of my videos as well. Is snow/rainwater safe for fish? I think YouTube, because everyone is possibly subscribed, if not most of us. Like, I think he meant like streaming on YouTube, which I think is a thing. I just don't know if it's as easy as Periscope or something like that, and if it's as nice as interface. I could try both and see how it turns out. Rainwater, I assume, would be fine. So the next question comes from Brando Dano. If you were to get a snake, what kind of beginner snake and non-beginner snake would you get? Also, would you ever be interested in making herping vids? I don't know why these herping vids are so popular. I would be interested, but only if I was in a place where I could actually find some cool stuff. As for snakes, if I had to get a beginner snake, I'd probably a rat snake. And a non-beginner snake, like a black-tailed crebo, black-headed python. Nicholas Businger asks, height, I'm 6 foot. Crested Gecko asks, what do I do if my crested gecko won't eat? I told you guys I get a lot of these questions. Make sure all the parameters are right, temperature, humidity, what you're feeding it, make sure all that's good. It's tough to know. Toxic Waste asks, what's a good tortoise to get started off with? I mentioned that earlier. If you have a big budget and you like some that get a little bit bigger, you could do a Indian star tortoise or a radiated tortoise, Horsfield eye or Russians, Herman eye or Herman's tortoise. Elongated tortoises are good. Redfoot tortoises, cherry heads, yellowfoots, Burmese mountain tortoise, leopard tortoises. Yeah, like I answered this question pretty much earlier. So Max Paul asks, are you going to get a female chameleon, and if so, are you going to breed? I would love to get a female chameleon. I have no idea where I'd put it. If I can, I definitely would. If like a gorgeous, stunning, super translucent female comes available, I would probably snag it, and I will definitely breed them. Next question comes from Toby Hendricks. He asks, leopard gecko or bearded dragon? Leopard gecko. And if you want something big, blue tongue skink. Next question comes from Austin Burton. Asks a couple questions here. He said, is UVB necessary for blue tongue skinks because Brian on Animal Bites TV keeps his in tubs with no lighting at all? And about how long did it take to grow to her adult size? That is a male. Sky is my man. As for UVB, no, I don't think it's necessary, honestly. I don't really think it is because a lot of the breeders, like you said, have them in tubs. Brian has them in tubs. Criticam and the Criticam cameraman both have them in tubs with no lighting. So chances are they'd be fine with no UVB or anything like that. And adult size, a year and a half, something like that. Like I said, I got it from Petland, so I got him from Petland. So I don't really know exactly how old he is. I think he's like 3. Next question comes from Speed Gaming. Would you ever be a reptile breeder as a full-time job? If not, what do you think about doing as a job? If I was able to, I would definitely be a reptile breeder, or like conservationist. I totally would be. That's probably not all that feasible here. I'd like to be, for sure. I don't think it'll happen. But if not, the other jobs, I answered this already, like something in the biology field, whether that's herpetology or biologist or zoologist or something like that. Next up we got Choco Games 123. Are you going to get a bearded dragon? No. Reptilian Rampage asks, how's your chameleons? They're good. They're very good. Shino Rhino, what's 9 plus 10? Peridot replied 46, of course. I'm just going to leave that one. Curtis Johnson, another guy that watches a lot of my videos. Mike, big fan. If you could have any living vivarium, what would you put inside? I don't know. That's tough. There's so much stuff. Like, I'd have a day geckos, and I'd probably have a big mix of things. I can't answer that. I don't know. Reasonably, I'd get Milkies. TMG Nation asks, would you rather have a bullfrog or an American toad? Neither. I wouldn't have either of them. If you're wondering which you should get, yes, bullfrog. Next question comes from the Chameleon Keeper 05, which, as I've mentioned about 100 times for everybody else, is another awesome subscriber that has been following me for a while and comments on a lot of my videos. For the Q&A, since I have experience with chameleons, what should be my next reptile? 2, would you ever get a sailfin gecko? They're really cool. What is your dream job? Sailfin geckos I don't think are a thing. If you mean a sailfin dragon or lizard, absolutely. They are really sweet. They require a lot of space and they have some issues with like nose rub and stuff, but if I got a really tame, chill one, for sure, I would love to get a sailfin dragon or lizard. What should be your next reptile? Like I said earlier, it's tough for me to gauge. Just because you've kept a chameleon doesn't mean you've done enough research or anything for anything else. Abilities are unlimited. You could go for a blue tree monitor if you did enough research. Like, just do a bunch of research and find one for yourself. Whatever you want. Also, I don't have Twitter or Facebook account, and I'm not allowed. It shouldn't be specifically to my needs, but is there any other live streaming places that don't require any social media accounts? Like I was saying earlier, I don't think Periscope actually requires a social media account. I'm pretty sure you can just sign up with an email. That would work fine. YouTube does have a streaming service. I haven't tried it out or anything, though, so... Next question comes from And101 Red. What are your 3 favorite desert reptiles, tropical, and amphibians? 9 total. Ooh, that's a good one. These probably won't be all that accurate because this is just off the top of my head. Favorite desert reptiles? Gila monster, monitor lizards like Australian monitors, like Pilbara rock monitors, even Aki monitors. Probably like a timber rattler or a western diamondback rattlesnake, honestly. I don't really know that many desert reptiles that are not like a leopard gecko or being a dragon. I'll give you those 3. As for tropical, oh good lord, there's too many out there. Tuataros are really sweet. Sailfin dragons are awesome. Monitor lizards, like the Indonesian monitors, are badass. As for amphibians, I like a lot of dart frogs. The newest one that I really like is the Santa Isabella variety. I can't remember their first, like their species, and then the Pumilio bastimentos, I think, the orange one. Those are really sweet, and Milk's tree frogs. Those, I'm gonna get them. Someday, eventually. Really good question, by the way. That was a really good one. I don't have them all in my brain at the same time, you know? Next question comes from Scream 2016. How to look after a turtle and the setup. Google, man. I don't have time to go over that. Next one comes from Luke Stoloff. What do you feed your blue-tongued skink? I have a video on my channel. You can go check it out. That's probably the best description of what I feed them. Next one comes from Samuel Esposito. Is it hard to have all those reptiles? Yes, it's very time consuming. Especially to provide good care and spend time with all of them. It does take a lot of time. Reptiles for Life asks, are you ever going to breed reptiles for a job? Probably not. Unless you have a full basement and have constant breeding going on, it's not really that feasible. And especially with me, I'm in university or college for you that are in the States. It's hard. It takes a lot of time and I just don't have the time for that. I would love to, but it probably will never happen. Oscar Dinez, why won't you get a bearded dragon? I answered this already. Mark Cheney, Shaney, where did you get Sheldon from? A place here in Calgary called J&J Reptiles. They're really good guys. Awesome reptile store. Go check them out. Next one comes from Chloe's Critters. Would you ever want to get a hamster or any other mammals? Hell no. I like cats. That's what I like. I don't like hamsters. I don't like gerbils. I don't like rabbits. I don't like any of that stuff. NVO Joe asks, how old is your crested gecko? 3. Jamie O'Sullivan asks, Q&A, would you rather have a ball python or corn snake or milk snake? If I had to pick out of those 3, I'd probably pick a milk snake. Alex Silva asks, what'd you think about getting a panther chameleon? Yes, I just don't have any room. They're awesome creatures. They're awesome pets. They're beautiful. So if you have the space, pick one up. They're sweet. Bobby Buck, can you upload 2 days a week? No, I can't. I do plan on doing another like May Madness kind of idea where I'd make a video every day for a full month. Just because it's a lot of fun and people that want to watch it builds like a community. So that will be coming back eventually. Probably next May, like this coming May. Because that's like when I'm done school, so that's probably when it'll end up being. He also asks, will I ever buy a bird? Honestly, if I didn't have this many reptiles, probably yes. I actually really like parrots. They're really, really cool. We have a couple at work that are just like super, super sweet. And yeah, if I didn't have all these, I probably would have a parrot. So next question comes from Allie Dieters. Where is Kula, your female chameleon? Well, I answered this earlier. If you haven't watched this whole thing, she passed away about 1.5 years. Beanie Gaming asks, why are you so enjoyable? Honestly, I don't know. I'm glad you enjoy me, though. It's nice to have you guys watching these videos. Next one comes from Planet Herb. Do you play Clash of Clans? And what are some fun things to do in Canada? Some fun things to do in Canada are ride our polar bears to school. Can't go wrong with that. In all seriousness, I don't know. It's the country I've grown up in. And honestly, I haven't really been to many places in Canada. I've been to Quebec and Ontario and that kind of stuff. And it's really cool out there. I've been on Sea Trip in grade 9 where you go and live on a boat for a week. With a whole bunch of other kids from your school, and that's really fun as well. BC is beautiful. If you want to come down here for the coast, it's very cold water, but it's a beautiful, beautiful place. And do I play Clash of Clans? No. I ain't got time for that. If I'm going to play games, it's going to be on the PS4 over there. Brendan Sullivan asks, Q&A, how much do all your cage reptile supply cost? I didn't read the rest of that. It just kind of filled it in. A lot. I really don't even want to calculate it just because it scares me. Thousands of dollars, probably. He also asked, why don't you have any snakes? And it's because of my parents. That's why. Next one comes from Gunnar Tribalhorn. What kind of live food do you feed your crested gecko? How much at a time? I will feed Kig a couple crickets every like a month. Everything else is just rapashi. I feed her, I don't know, however many she'll eat, whether that's 1 or 5, I'll feed her that many. Maybe once a month I do that. Everything else is just rapashi. Next one comes from the Advanced Army. How many crickets do you feed your chameleon every week? 100, give or take? Maybe less than that, like 75? I buy 500 crickets a week. I give a whole bunch to my buddy. These guys are the porkers in the house. They'll probably eat between the 2 of them, like, if I fed them every day, which normally I'll skip a day in between like 30 and 40 crickets. Like between the 2 of them, so a lot of crickets. If not more, they'd probably eat more if I gave them it, but nope. Is that cut off? Next one comes from Leo Our Life. He has 2 things. He says, "What happens if I miss the live stream? Will it be posted on your channel? Is Sheldon fully grown? If not, how big will he get?" So like full grown for Sheldon, pretty much the biggest they'll get is about 10 inches in diameter, and that's like huge. Most of them don't get bigger than like 7 inches. As for the live stream, no, it probably wouldn't be up on my channel. If I did it on Facebook, it would be part of my Facebook group, or like my Facebook page. If I live streamed on YouTube, then yes, it would be posted on my channel. If I didn't, then no. Lee Reptiles asks, would you ever get a red-tailed boa, and if so, what specific color morph? Great job with your videos. Thanks for the compliment. I wouldn't probably go out and buy one. If I did, I'd probably pick an IMG. I really like how dark they are. Next one comes from George Prout. When do you give the Ackies a full clean out, and how long does it take you? By the way, because of your gorgeous Ackies, I'm convincing my dad to get some, lol. Not that often. They have a lot of substrate in there. I'd probably do it every, like, twice a year, every 6 months, and I don't know, I haven't done it yet. Malachi Ball asks, how many reptiles do you have total? Do you have any good advice for a new chameleon owner? I already answered that, 12, and just make sure everything's on point, make sure temps are right, make sure everything's good. Rashid Al-Kubasi? What is for the future of this channel? More reptile videos. Honestly, I'm very ADD and have so many different ideas kicking around in my brain all the time that I could see myself doing vlogs maybe like once a week or something like that. I could do more challenge videos with my girlfriend. I have thought about starting a gaming channel. I just don't know if I'd really have time for it. That's the only problem. Other than that, yeah, same stuff, just more content. Hopefully I'll have some breeding going on. I'll have more frog videos. I'll have the Hermit's Tortoise care video. I'll have some stuff coming out. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Spiderfast asks, I'm trying to get my parents into getting me an arrow frog. Are they easy to care for? It depends what your experience is. I've had moose and bean, which were very tropical, high humidity animals that required feeding often, and that's pretty much the same description for the frog. So for me, it was easy, but for you, it might be challenging. So just look into them and see, you decide. Dark0666 asks, I like the idea, but if I miss a live stream, would I be able to watch it later? Would you still be making YouTube videos? Absolutely, I'd be making YouTube videos. As for the stream available later, like I said, if it's on Facebook, I'm pretty sure it just saves to my Facebook timeline. If it's on YouTube, then it would be on YouTube. If it's on Periscope, I don't think there's anything I can do with it. If there is, I could render it out and put it on YouTube. Tarantula Kid 2015 asks, what is the best beginner dart frog and what are the best plants to use in the cage? There's a ton of different plants you can use. If you're looking for more bulletproof ones, look for philodendron or philodendron. Pothos, bromeliads do really well. As for the best beginner, go for one of the big three, like Leucomelas, Tinctorius, and Azurius. Those are probably your best bets. And just like that, about an hour and a half later, we are done. I hope that you really enjoyed this. This took a long time and it's going to take me forever to edit. If you guys liked the video, be sure to drop a like down below. That just shows me that you want to see more of my videos and that you in fact enjoyed this Q&A. While you're down there, in the comment section down below, leave the word orchid in the comment section down below. Well, when you're down there, I'd like to hear your video suggestion ideas. I'll probably use this for the next few outros that I use just to give me some more ideas so that I can film more. Drop a suggestion down below and make sure you check my channel to see if I haven't done it. Some videos I will be updating. I'll probably redo the blue tongue care and a couple of different care videos. If you liked it and you've already commented, then subscribe to my channel and you'll see more of the reptiles, some more plant videos, as well as amphibians and shrimp videos in the future. So, I hope you guys have a good one. This is taking forever. I really am curious to see how many people will actually make it to the end of the video, but thanks for watching, guys. Grab a Phoenix, out of here.